And this guy is just absolutely melting. Look at this, 30, 34, 35 bleeds. Like, it is also a absolute blast to play this guy. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time for the initial review of Rank 3 live server Black Panther. I did take him up about a month ago, month and a half, when the skill class somehow didn't seem nearly as stacked as it does now. These buffs have been pretty intense, and the competition for the top of the skill class, I think, is also intense. Anyways, I was just on stream recently, the day this buff went live, saying I just wasn't sure if the damage was there with Black Panther. It seemed sufficient, and I was very excited about all the utility. I've done a significant amount of testing since then, and I got a couple things wrong, just flat out wrong. The damage is actually quite immense in my opinion, and we're going to focus on that in this video today and take a little bit of a look at the utility and how we could potentially access it, especially with my Black Panther being only a SIG 20. We're going to look at 3 fights. This is all going to be very quick. And the last is him absolutely obliterating Labyrinth of Legends Rulk. We'll kind of go over how to play him a little bit, some things I've learned along the way as we go. This first 2 fights are going to be this Dizzy, Mesmerize, Stun, Vulnerability. This is Act 7. Look at how much health is on these opponents. And one of the things that initially stands out to me is how you're going to access this utility that he has, right? You know that you can get up to minus 100% defensive ability accuracy on the defender, which would be awesome to do. The problem is you need him at the max sig to do it. You know, you need the Panther's Might, and then you need a certain amount of bleeds up. And so I'm not able to do that with mine, but I can parry stun here, land the bleeds, and then at some point I will trigger the Panther's Might. And if you had a max sig Black Panther, the fight is over. I mean, look at how quickly this is going as it is. There is stun vulnerability on it, so we're getting the attack increase. But like right now, we had the 4 bleeds on, we had the Panther's Might. He's not going to be evading. We can just go in and destroy this guy. And with the way Black Panther stacks those bleeds, you really don't need to worry about it falling off. Trust me, you will see that in the Labyrinth of Legends Rulk. So even without that full utility there, you saw how quickly that fight went by. Just shows like, okay, it's Star-Lord. He's really not an evader at all. So let's go ahead and take the next fight on that lane. It is a Spider-Man, someone who does evade. Is it as practical? Does it work as well as it did for Star-Lord? And we're about to find out. So same nodes, same mesmerize and all of that good stuff, right? So parry, get in the hits that we can. You see how quickly we're stacking the bleeds. Part of that is being helped by the Jabari Panther synergy. I do think that and the Storm ones are the best here. But you see how much damage we're already doing. Again, there's the stun vulnerability. You know me. I like to show you the best I think we can get with these champions, but also point it out so you know what you're doing when you go into and do it yourself. So I thought, all right, let's find an evade lane where we don't have the stun vulnerability. And to do that, we're going to go to Act 6 here against this Spider-Man. If anyone remembers these are some vicious times. All right, so there's Pilfer, Mesmerize, there's Spry as well. So we gotta be worried, right? You don't want to get evaded. Bad things are going to happen. So here we go. There's no attack increased when he's stunned. So we're just gonna be attacking when he's stunned. Trying to get our bleeds up to, ideally you would get to, I believe it's 4 with the SIG 200, but you see how quickly we're getting to him. So I could trigger Panther's Might right here with the heavy, and then this fight is done. This is over. You have a max SIG. This fight is over. I went ahead and just decided to kind of play it as if I did. I was attacking in with the parry a little bit more, but there you go. You see the unblockable. That fight's over. It's done. It's over. And so I'm kind of starting to get a sense of that here and how you can access that utility. And we'll talk a little bit more about it as we go into this Labyrinth of Legends Rulk fight right here in just a second. Now, I want you to prepare yourself because this is going to go fast. This is going to go really fast. Here we are, we're going in. All right. So one of the things for what you're going to about to see here is you really want that aggressive AI. See, we're getting in these intercepts, and that is helping us build the Panther's Might in active charges. So the gray passive there on the left. You want to get to 5 of those, and then get those the cruelty passives. Yeah, get those up to about 14, 15. You see what we did there, and then I went ahead and triggered it with the SP1. I did the SP1 because it's going to make your Panther's Might last longer. You can refresh those by punishing a SP1 like you saw I just did there, or any special, and then a heavy attack. And you'll see the Panther's Might is the orange in the upper left-hand corner. That does now pause, and it pauses for about 5 seconds. By continuing to get those intercepts or punishing the SP1 or the heavy, we will continue to keep that pause, and I'm going to manage to keep it up for the whole fight. You saw we had 23 bleeds there, 22, 21. You're going to see that kind of just rotate around. Some are going to fall off, some are going to stay on a little bit longer. And then the other thing that's extremely important here is that storm synergy. I found that intercepting Rulk with my SP2 without it just wasn't happening. And when you get the intercept, you get those guaranteed crits. There it is right there. So you can just throw it. He starts to attack in. And as soon as you see him doing that, you know you're going to go unblockable because of storm. And this guy is just absolutely melting. Look at this, 30, 34, 35 bleeds. Like, it is also a absolute blast to play this guy. It can be a little frustrating when the AI doesn't cooperate, but man, when they do, look at that. Under 1 minute and 30 seconds, superhero pose is definitely warranted for this guy. 87 hits. I was blown away. I could not have been more wrong on the testing stream about thinking the damage wasn't there, or that it was just, like I was saying, it was adequate. For all the utility he had, the damage was adequate. When you got those synergies going, this is also a rank 3. The damage is quite a bit more than adequate. Now, you also know me. I like to show you the best we can and then kind of talk it through, though. Those are a lot of synergies that were in there that are into play. I do think Jabari and Storm are the really important ones. We're seeing Storm is capable of doing significant damage, though, so maybe that's not such a bad synergy partner. I like Jabari. They seem to have some crossover, though, in what they do. For me, it's very similar to the Killmonger synergy. Adding the True Strike, it's like, well, then why aren't I just taking the fight with Killmonger? I guess on some level, though, it's nice to have them both ranked up, or maybe you don't have them both ranked up. You have one, and so getting one to have that utility makes a lot of sense. The SIG seems to be extremely important if you're going to be accessing the defensive ability accuracy reduction. I think we knew that going in, but I'm seeing it playing out more and more and more. There are some ways around it, or there's ways to kind of modify it, as you saw with the spry fights that we were talking about. But I want to dive into this more. I took this guy up to rank 3, and I took him up to rank 3 very, very early. So I'm an early investor in this guy. At the moment, I would not say, yes, go for it, do it. He's a great R3. I would not say that. Maybe if we're thinking about like Thronebreaker and you're willing to take him up to the high SIG, I could see that. This might be a case of a champion where we're really pumped up to have him as a 5-star, because while those 6 stones are still very, very valuable, and they're still relatively rare depending on where you are in this game, they are significantly more accessible and available than the 6-star 6 stones. I had a ton of fun with them. I'm going to probably do another video or 2 on him because, one, I just think it'll be fun, but I'm going to definitely be looking at the likes and comments and how well received this video is before we invest more time into putting out videos. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on in the game right now. So please let me know. Let me know a couple things. 1, did you like this? 2, do you want to see more? And 3, most importantly, because I always learn so much from the comment section, do you see more ways to access his utility? Remember, he's got the auto block counter there in a bit of a way. He has the True Strike, that's through the synergy with Killmonger, who I happen to love. He has the ability to not cleanse, but purify the debuffs, which we saw there. I was running Suicide, so every time we did a intercept, those were being thrown off, or any other buffs that were being on there. So the utility is there. It's just, how are you accessing it? How good is his flow, as I like to say? How well does it all fit together? And is it just easily accessible and ready for you to use when you're going into the fight? If nothing else, the damage is absolutely, definitely there. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to hear what you think. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.